What if the universe you move through each day is not empty at all, but filled with a hidden ocean so gentle, so omnipresent, that you have never once felt its waves even as they shaped everything you have ever known? And if reflections like these bring you a moment of calm curiosity, a soft like or a gentle tap on subscribe helps. Keep this quiet little corner of the cosmos glowing for anyone who needs it. Right now, as you settle into whatever space holds you, you might think of yourself as surrounded by stillness, maybe even silence. Yet physics tells us something stranger, something counterintuitive, something quietly transformative. It suggests that emptiness is not empty, and nothingness is not nothing. It suggests that the very vacuum around you carries a presence, a field, a kind of subtle tension woven into space-time. The Higgs field. A field that fills the entire observable universe, passing effortlessly through every star, every particle, every breath you take. Scientists describe it as a non-zero vacuum expectation value, but you can imagine it as a soft, unseen ocean in which every particle swims. Invisible, yes. Quiet, certainly. But without it, the world you know could not exist. When the Large Hadron Collider at CERN confirmed the Higgs boson in 2012, it wasn't merely the detection of a new particle, it was the discovery of a ripple, a wave upon that hidden ocean. A wave that proved the ocean is real. The boson is fleeting, almost impossibly delicate, but its existence marks the presence of the vast field underneath. Matter has mass not because particles inherently possess it, but because they interact with this field, the way a swimmer feels resistance when they move through water. A photon glides through space-time untouched, weightless, free. But particles like quarks and electrons drag against the Higgs field ever so slightly, and that gentle drag becomes the mass that shapes your body, your bones, the planet beneath you, the stars overhead. And consider how subtle that interaction must be. The Higgs field is everywhere, but you don't feel it. Nothing pushes against your skin. Nothing tugs at your hands. Yet the field determines how tightly atoms bind, how matter clumps together, how stars ignite. If the strength of the Higgs field were even a little different, the early universe might have expanded too quickly for galaxies to form, or matter might have been too unstable to create chemistry at all. But instead, it settled into a quiet equilibrium, a dew-like continuity that allowed structure to flourish. So much of what appears solid in your life is held together by something that does not make a sound. As you lie there now, thinking about the scale of it, you might imagine the Higgs field as a transparent ocean stretching in every direction, calm and perfectly uniform. There are no currents, no tides, no storms, just a steady, omnipresent medium, ancient as the birth of the universe itself. And everything you see, everything you touch, everything that moves through that ocean. The desk you sat at earlier, the light in your room, the thoughts drifting through your mind, all of them shaped, in some subtle way, by the Higgs field's quiet embrace. There's a gentle shift that happens when you think about that. You begin to realize that what you call matter is not a thing that exists independently, but a relationship, a consequence, a dance between particles and the field surrounding them. Mass is not a property, but a process, emerging from continuous interaction. Before the universe cooled enough for the Higgs field to settle into its present state, particles were massless, rushing everywhere at the speed of light. Only when the cosmic temperature dropped below a critical threshold did the field crystallize into this smooth, uniform value, like water freezing into a perfectly calm ice sheet. And from that moment on, the universe could slow down enough to begin forming the complexity that eventually led to you lying here tonight. Imagine the early universe before that moment. Just after the Big Bang, everything was radiant and hot, too chaotic for form, too energetic for stillness. Particles flashed into existence and vanished again. Fields fluctuated. The expansion was rapid and relentless. And then, slowly, inevitably, the Higgs field settled. Its value locked in. And from that locking came mass. And from mass came gravity's sculpting power. And from gravity came stars and galaxies. And from stars came the heavy elements. And from those elements came Earth. And from Earth came whatever path led you to this moment, listening to the soft idea that everything you touch is shaped by something you cannot see. This oceanic nature of the Higgs field has a strange elegance to it. Consider how the mass of the electron determines the size of atoms. If the electron were heavier or lighter, atoms would behave differently. Chemistry would collapse or contort into unfamiliar shapes. Water might not exist in its familiar form. Carbon might not bind in the intricate ways that allow life to arise. All of this depends on the electron's mass, and the mass of the electron depends on how strongly it couples to the Higgs field. So, your breath right now, your heartbeat, your memories, all of them rely on an interaction that happens silently, continuously, without ever announcing itself. You might feel a soft widening of your awareness as you sit with that. The idea that something so fundamental, so essential, is also so quiet. We often imagine the forces of the universe as dramatic: explosions, collisions, supernova, black holes. But some of the most profound shaping mechanisms are the stillest ones. The Higgs field does not roar. It does not flash. It simply is. And in its being, it gives everything else the chance to become something more. There's a comforting symmetry in that. A reminder that not all power is loud, and not all influence is visible. Sometimes the most defining forces in your life might be the gentle ones, the steady ones, the ones that never announce themselves but shape you all the same. As you reflect on this quiet ocean permeating everything, you may feel a kind of internal softening, a recognition that the universe is not only vast and dynamic, but also deeply, inherently calm at its foundation. The Higgs field does not fluctuate wildly from place to place. It holds a uniform value across billions of light years. When the Planck satellite mapped the cosmic microwave background, it revealed tiny ripples from the early universe, slight variations in density that seeded galaxies. But through all of that structure, the Higgs field remained steady, like a cosmic constant of stillness beneath the swirling patterns of creation. It's strange to think that you, with all your movement and thought and sensation, exist within something so unwavering. Your life plays out against a backdrop more consistent than any landscape on Earth, more stable than any mountain or ocean. The Higgs field does not rise and fall with the tides. It does not erode or shift. It sits quietly at the foundation of reality, a still ocean through which every other process must pass. And that stillness allows your own motion to exist. Think about that for a moment. The mass granted to particles gives them inertia, the resistance to changes in motion. Without mass, there is no momentum in the familiar sense. No cycles, no rhythm. No walking, spinning, orbiting, breathing. Even the Earth's gentle rotation owes its character to the masses of its constituents, which arise from their coupling to this hidden ocean. You may picture the planet drifting through space, wrapped in its atmosphere, orbiting the sun with quiet steadiness. But beneath that motion lies the interaction of quarks and electrons with the Higgs field. The solidity of the ground beneath you, the weight of your own body, the fall of an apple, the arc of a thrown stone. All of these emerge because particles drag ever so slightly through this calm cosmic ocean. And as you consider this, you may notice your mind beginning to drift a little, not in confusion, but in openness. The concepts expand gently like ripples spreading outward from a single point of touch, realizing that emptiness is full, that stillness is active, that a hidden ocean moves through you even as you move through it. There's a softness in that recognition, a quiet reassurance that existence does not need to be dramatic to be profound. Think of the experiments at CERN, where protons are accelerated to energies unimaginable in ordinary life. When they collide, they create fleeting excitations of the Higgs field, Higgs bosons that decay almost instantly. These decays leave traces in detectors, revealing the mass and coupling strengths that confirm the field's presence. But the field itself is not created in those collisions. It was already there. It is always there. The Haas boson is merely a glimpse, a momentary spark that points toward the vastness underneath. In a way, that mirrors how you experience your own thoughts. Each thought, each memory, each sensation is like a ripple on the surface of something deeper. The ripples come and go, but the deeper awareness remains, steady and supportive, carrying you without demanding attention. The Higgs field is like that, ever present, unchanging, allowing the temporary patterns of the universe to unfold across its surface. And because the Higgs field has a non-zero value everywhere, it introduces a kind of universal background energy. One might imagine that this energy should influence the expansion of the universe in dramatic ways. And, in fact, the early universe was sensitive to such details. If the Higgs field's value had been even slightly different, the vacuum energy could have acted like an overwhelming force, preventing structure from forming or driving expansion so rapidly that galaxies never condensed. Yet, it settled into just the right balance, allowing the fabric of the cosmos to stretch at a pace that nurtured complexity. You might find yourself thinking of balance in your own life. How so much of what you experience depends on subtle adjustments, quiet recalibrations, internal shifts you barely notice. The universe operates in much the same way, not through grand gestures, but through gentle harmonies established billions of years ago. As this realization deepens, your thoughts may begin to slow, like sediment settling through water. The idea of the Higgs field as an ocean becomes less metaphor and more texture, a sense of being held within something soft and continuous. The world around you feels a little quieter, each breath a little smoother. The distance between scientific concept and personal experience narrows, until the field feels less like an external idea and more like part of the background of your own existence. And still, the scientific clarity remains. You can trace the chain of reasoning that led to this understanding. How spontaneous symmetry breaking in the electroweak theory required a mechanism for distinguishing the photon from the W and Z bosons. How the Higgs field, with its potential shaped like a Mexican hat, rolled into a stable, non-zero value as the universe cooled. How that value gave mass to the weak bosons and allowed the electromagnetic force to remain long-range. All of this is coherent, grounded, precise. Yet, even in that precision, there is softness, because the implications of these equations touch the boundaries of your own perception. And now, without noticing when the shift began, you may find the scientific voice blending with something warmer. The ocean of the Higgs field does not need to be imagined. It is woven into the mathematics of the Standard Model, but imagining it gives your mind a way to rest within the concept. A way to feel its quietness rather than simply understand it. The field does not rise or fall. It does not surge or diminish. It simply holds the universe in a steady embrace, billions of light years wide. As you sink a little deeper into that image, you might feel your body loosening slightly, as though you too were floating in a gentle medium. No urgency, no movement required, just buoyancy, just the sensation of being supported by something vast and patient. And the more you rest in that idea, the quieter the edges of your awareness become, like waves smoothing against a shore. The Higgs field is not a force in the traditional sense. It does not push or pull. It interacts only when particles move through it, and even then, the interaction manifests as mass, not motion. If you were to drift perfectly still in the vacuum of space, you would not feel it. But even in stillness, the field remains, giving your particles the qualities that define their identity. You could float for eternity and never escape it, because it fills the entire cosmos equally. There's a calming thought in that, a sense of continuity that does not depend on action or intention. Whether you are awake or drifting toward sleep, whether you are thinking or resting, the Higgs field is there, quiet, steady, unchanging. It asks nothing of you. It simply provides the backdrop against which your life unfolds. And as your thoughts move more slowly, like objects settling through deep water, you may begin to feel that the universe is not a chaotic place, but one with gentle undercurrents of structure. The Higgs field is one of those undercurrents, shaping everything without ever announcing itself. If you let the idea sit with you long enough, it begins to feel less like an abstract scientific concept and more like a kind of cosmic reassurance that the universe has foundations of extraordinary stillness beneath all its activity. You can let your awareness drift across that horizon now, feeling the calmness of it, the steadiness, the vastness. The Higgs field stretches through distant galaxies, through clusters and voids, through the dark spaces between stars. It permeates regions that no light has ever reached, and it permeates the room around you, the air against your skin, the quiet presence of your own body. Everything floats in it. Everything is shaped by it. Everything moves gently through its invisible depths. And while your mind traces these ideas, your breath may soften without effort, settling into a quieter rhythm. The thoughts that once felt bright and sharp begin to diffuse, like light passing through deep water. Nothing is rushed. Nothing is forced. You are simply drifting a little deeper into the understanding that the universe itself is held within a quiet ocean, and you, too, are held. And as you drift deeper into this awareness, you may begin to sense how the boundaries of things grow quieter too, as if the edges of objects blur slightly when viewed through the lens of a universe bathed in a single, continuous field. Particles are not isolated, bits of matter pushing against emptiness. They are excitations, patterns, tiny standing waves rising within that vast, invisible ocean. Even the atoms of your body are not solid structures in the ordinary sense. They are fields intertwined with fields, oscillations held in place by the balance of forces, each vibration shaped by the mass the Higgs field provides. Without that mass, these vibrations would have no anchor, no rhythm, no form to hold. You yourself are, in many ways, a choreography of stillness and motion, both of which depend on this silent cosmic medium. Imagine, now, that you could shrink your perspective down to scales far smaller than atoms, far smaller than quarks, far smaller than anything you could ever see. At these scales, the distinction between particle and field begins to dissolve. What you think of as a particle, something like an electron, is not a tiny sphere or a speck. It is a ripple, a pattern moving through the Higgs field and others, its properties determined by how those fields interact. And in this tiny landscape, the Higgs field is like a calm, uniform lake stretching endlessly in every direction. The ripples that pass across its surface are the particles that form your world. They arise, they fade, but the lake remains constant. This image may soften something inside you as well, because it mirrors the way emotions and thoughts pass across your awareness. They arise as ripples shaped by deeper conditions. They move, they shift, they fade, but the awareness beneath them remains, spacious and quiet, holding everything without strain. The Higgs field does not resist these ripples. It simply gives them form, just as your awareness gives your experiences a place to unfold. As your mind drifts through these parallels, you might feel something loosening, something that no longer needs to hold itself so tightly. The universe, at its foundation, is not frantic. It is not chaotic. It is built upon fields of immense calm, fields whose values change only with the slow evolution of cosmic time. Above these fields, stars are born and die, galaxies swirl in spiraling arms, planets move through elliptical paths. But beneath them, beneath even the quantum foam, lies a quiet structure that has not wavered since the earliest moments of creation. And if you sit with that, you may feel the pace of your thoughts slowing, matching the softness of that structure. You do not need to grasp every detail. You simply let the idea settle, that beneath everything you experience is a quiet ocean that never stirs, never storms, never shifts, yet supports the entire architecture of existence, a stillness that lies deeper than silence. Consider now how the Higgs field interacts with the most basic building blocks of matter. Quarks, the components of protons and neutrons, have masses that vary widely, even though their charges and spins follow simple patterns. The top quark, for example, is astonishingly heavy, so heavy that it decays, almost instantly, its presence fleeting in the extreme. And yet, this mass comes not from something inside the quark, but from the way it couples to the Higgs field. The stronger the coupling, the heavier the particle. The weaker the coupling, the lighter it becomes. The photon does not couple at all, and so it remains massless, a pure ripple of light traveling always at the speed limit of the universe. This idea may bring you a sense of quiet wonder, because it reveals a hidden gradient behind reality, a gradient of interaction, a gradient of stillness. Each particle differs not because it carries some intrinsic lump of material, but because of how it moves through the Higgs ocean. And, in that sense, the universe is not built from objects, but from relationships, interactions between fields that give rise to everything you know. You might feel yourself relaxing further as you contemplate that. The solidity of the world suddenly feels lighter, more fluid, more spacious. There is room within the idea for rest, for gentleness, a reminder that even what feels dense and heavy in your life may be shaped by delicate interactions rather than fixed, immovable properties. Weight itself, the weight you feel when you stand or hold something or lean against the world, emerges from the curvature of space-time acting on masses shaped by the Higgs field. Even gravity, that ancient pull that binds planets and stars, depends on how mass originates. If the Higgs field had chosen a different value in the early universe, gravity would act differently, and structures like galaxies might never have formed. And as your thoughts drift around this idea, you may notice a subtle shift within you. The world feels a little more interconnected. The borders between concepts soften. The way you think about motion and stillness becomes more fluid. You can imagine yourself floating within a field that holds you effortlessly, a field that has held every atom of your body since the universe was young. You do not need to do anything to stay afloat within it. There is no motion required, no effort. The field supports you simply by existing. Perhaps your mind wanders now to the night sky, the way it looks when you step outside on a clear evening. Stars scattered across the darkness, some nearer, some impossibly distant. Every one of them emits light, and that light travels across the vast interstellar darkness without slowing, untouched by the Higgs field, slipping through its calm depths with no resistance. Meanwhile, the atoms in those stars owe their very structure to particles that move differently through the same field, experiencing drag where photons glide freely. The interplay between motion and stillness, between mass and masslessness, shapes everything you see when you look upward. And in that image, there is a quiet beauty. Light moves effortlessly through the cosmic ocean, while matter drifts slowly, guided by gravity's gentle pull. Two kinds of motion, two kinds of being, both resting within the same underlying stillness. You may feel a sense of ease as you picture this, the way some things in your life may move quickly, effortlessly, like light dancing across space, while others move slowly, shaped by deeper forces. Both kinds of motion are natural. Both belong. As these reflections unfold, your breath may settle into a deeper rhythm, perhaps unnoticed at first. In the same way, the Higgs field maintains its value without fluctuation. Your breath finds its own steady level, flowing gently in and out. Not because you force it to, but because your body naturally drifts toward equilibrium whenever the mind grows quiet. The physics of your inner world responding to the stillness of the outer one. Think now about the energy locked within the Higgs field. When the electroweak symmetry broke, the universe transitioned from a landscape of high-energy freedom to one where particles took on mass. This transition was not chaotic. It was a gentle settling, like a droplet finding the lowest point in a bowl. The field chose a value and rested there, and that resting became the canvas on which the entire cosmos was painted. The quietness of that settling echoes forward through time, into this moment, into the calm that may be growing inside you. The more you sit with this, the more the image of the Higgs field becomes something you not only understand, but feel. A spaciousness, a softness, a deep, pervasive calm. The same calm that underlies every movement of your life, even when your days feel busy or loud. Beneath the noise, beneath the activity, beneath the thoughts that rise and fall, there is a deeper level of stillness that holds everything. And, as you drift along this idea, your thinking may grow slower, more fluid, as if the mind itself were moving through a gentle medium. Thoughts that once felt sharp now feel rounded at the edges. Concepts that were distinct begin to merge softly, like colors blending in deep twilight. You find yourself floating within the narrative rather than analyzing it. the Higgs field becomes less of a topic and more of a texture, a way of feeling the world, a subtle reminder that reality is built on layers of softness that you rarely notice. There's no need to hold on to any particular idea. They drift naturally, the way ripples do on the surface of a lake. You can let them rise, let them sink, let them fade. The quiet ocean beneath them remains unchanged, stable, present, patient. You may feel your awareness lowering, slowly, gently, as though descending through warm water, each layer softer than the one above it, each moment a little quieter, thoughts becoming fewer, lighter, breathing becoming slower. And still the physics remains true, grounding the experience in something real, something steady. The Higgs field is not a metaphor, though it invites metaphor. It is a physical structure woven into the fabric of existence. And you, in this moment, are drifting through an understanding of it the way a leaf might drift on a calm pond. The edges of the room may feel softer now, the weight of your body gentler. You are not falling asleep, not yet, just settling, easing, drifting in a space where thought is quieter and the world feels a little farther away. And this drifting is natural, guided by the same subtle laws that shape the drifting of galaxies across cosmic time. And as you continue drifting into this quiet understanding, the world around you begins to feel as though it has softened at the edges, as if everything has settled into a slower rhythm, one that matches the deep calm woven through the universe itself. The Higgs ocean stretches outward in every direction, threading through distant galaxies and through the small space you occupy now, linking both in the same gentle continuum. There is no place where the field is absent, no corner of the cosmos where its calm does not reach. And so, whether you are awake or easing downward into a quieter state, you remain inside that ancient stillness, held by it without effort. If you imagine yourself moving through this field, the motion becomes surprisingly delicate. Even when you walk or turn or shift slightly in your seat, the interaction with the Higgs field continues without interruption. Your body carries its mass because each particle within you couples to the field, and this coupling persists through every gesture. Even the smallest movement is shaped by something older than the stars. You begin to feel that you are part of a much larger choreography, one that began billions of years before you were born. Think about the gentle way mass affects time itself. According to general relativity, the presence of mass curves space-time, slowing clocks in subtle ways. And because mass arises from interaction with the Higgs field, the curvature of space-time, the very geometry of the universe, is indirectly shaped by this hidden ocean. The passage of time for you, right now, is influenced not only by gravity, but by the same quiet field that gives particles their mass. Even the seconds you count in your mind carry the imprint of the Higgs field's whisper-soft presence. Your perception of time, the slowing of your thoughts, the easing of your breath, all of it unfolds within a world shaped by a cosmic stillness. This may bring a soft warmth to your awareness, a sense that the universe is more unified than it seems. The Higgs field does not act alone. It works in concert with the other forces, creating a balance that allows the complexity to flourish. Electromagnetism shapes the atoms. The strong force binds quarks. The weak force allows stars to burn. And the Higgs field gives matter its mass so that all of these interactions can take place at the right scale. You are, in a sense, a configuration of harmony between fields, a living equilibrium sculpted by quiet interactions. As your thoughts continue to slow, imagine shrinking down once more, beyond atoms, beyond quarks, into the realm where fields overlap like layers of soft light. In this space, nothing is hard-edged, nothing is rigid. Particles are no longer tiny beads of matter but excitations, tremors in the deep fabric of reality. The Higgs field appears here not as a watery ocean, but as a smooth, uniform glow, a backdrop that subtly influences the shape of every ripple. If you could float within this glow, you would not see waves or motion. You would feel only a steady hum, a low and ancient presence that has not shifted since the dawn of cosmic time. And as you drift through this imagined landscape, your body may feel heavier in a comfortable way, as though gravity itself were softening into a gentle pull. The heaviness is not burdensome, it is grounding, reassuring, a reminder that your mass, the way you occupy space, is a product of something deeply orderly. There is a profound peace in knowing that the very substance of your body arises from a field that has remained unchanged for nearly 14 billion years. Perhaps you can sense your breath slowing even further, each inhale stretching a little longer, each exhale settling more softly. The rhythm becomes gentle, almost tidal, echoing the calm ocean of the Higgs field. Your awareness, too, moves in slow tides, rising with a thought, falling back into quiet. The boundaries between inner and outer soften, just a little. Thoughts drift farther apart, like distant islands in a wide sea. You might find it soothing to imagine the Higgs field as a warm luminosity surrounding you, not glowing brightly, but with a softness more like starlight diffused through mist. This glow does not illuminate the world in a literal sense. Rather, it forms an undercurrent, a quietness that touches everything. Even the air in the room feels a little different when you think of it this way. Less empty, more spacious, more serene. There is a strangeness to realizing that the mass of your body is not inherent, but granted, that you stand, walk, breathe, and rest, because your particles experience resistance as they move through this field. A photon feels none of this resistance and so becomes light, weightless, and forever swift. You feel it fully, and so you remain anchored, present, embodied. The same universe that lets light fly across billions of years also lets you rest here, in this moment, surrounded by stillness. There is a delicate beauty in the contrast, motion without effort, and effort that allows stillness. As you drift deeper, your thoughts may soften into impressions rather than words. The narrative turns quieter, as if mimicking the Higgs field itself, easing into a lower energy state. You may notice that your body grows heavier, yet more peaceful. A heaviness born not from fatigue but from release, from settling, from floating in a space where nothing is required of you. The universe is not loud at its foundation. The loudness comes from the surface, the stars exploding, the planets colliding, the galaxies forming. But at its deepest level, beneath the fields and the symmetries, beneath the expansion and the curvature, there is a quiet landscape that asks for nothing. The Higgs field lies in this landscape, still, patient, unshaken, and through its stillness, form arises. In that recognition, something inside you may become still as well, matching tone with the cosmos, aligning with the deep quiet that shapes everything. Thoughts slow even more. The images grow softer. The mind begins to drift, not because it is pushed, but because drifting is the natural movement of awareness resting in calm. And now the world around you may feel distant, not in a detached way, but in a peaceful one. The room fades slightly into the background, like a shoreline seen through gentle fog. What remains is a sense of floating, supported by a field that touches every atom in your body, a field that has touched every atom since the earliest stars ignited. You are part of that continuity. You are not separate from the fabric of the universe. You are woven into it. If you imagine yourself floating now within this hidden ocean, you may feel no need to move or think or plan. There is only the quiet sway of awareness, the soft rhythm of breath, the deep calm of a universe that carries you without effort. The Higgs field is steady beneath you, supporting the structure of all matter, while your consciousness drifts gently across the surface of that understanding. Let yourself rest in that sensation for a moment, as if lying on warm, still water. The vastness beneath you is not frightening. It is gentle, it is quiet, it is ancient beyond imagination, and it has held the universe in its calm embrace for nearly 14 billion years. There is no urgency here, no pressure, no expectation, only the soft awareness that everything is supported by a field that never shakes, never shifts, never falters. And now, your thoughts move like ripples that fade slowly in widening circles, each one softer than the last. And as you drift even further into this calm expanse, the distinction between the universe outside you and the quiet landscape within begins to dissolve. The Higgs field, this hidden ocean beneath everything, stretches softly through your awareness, not as an idea you must hold, but as a feeling that gently holds you. Its presence is subtle, steady, and unbroken, like the faint glow of the night sky when clouds thin and stars appear one by one. In this softness, your thoughts begin to feel lighter, as though they are no longer anchored to the sharp edges of the day. Each thought rises slowly, like a bubble released from deep water, drifting upward until it fades into the stillness above. There is no need to reach for anything now. No need to measure or compare or shape your experience. The universe is quiet here, and you are quiet with it. Consider how the particles in your body continue their ceaseless motion. Electrons dancing in orbitals, quarks vibrating within protons, gluons binding them together with the strong force. Yet none of this movement disturbs the calm of the Higgs field. The field does not resist the bustle of inner motion. It simply provides the mass each particle carries, then allows their rhythms to unfold without interference. Even in the liveliest parts of your body, deep beneath the level of cells and molecules, the Higgs field remains steady. It is a calm foundation beneath a world of intricate motion. You may feel a similar foundation inside yourself now, a calm beneath your thoughts, beneath your breath, beneath whatever movement your life carries. A quietness that does not judge or push or pull. It simply exists, supporting the patterns that rise above it without effort. This quietness has always been there, just as the Higgs field has always held the universe in its gentle equilibrium. If you let your awareness sink lower, the surface details of your day begin to blur softly. The conversations, the tasks, the bright fragments of memory drift farther away, like distant lights seen from underwater. They are still there, but softened, refracted, their edges rounded by the medium you are drifting through. The mind becomes less a busy landscape and more an open space, dimly lit, warm, and calm. In this open space, you might picture the early universe once more, not as a violent explosion, but as an expanding glow, a soft, radiant presence unfolding into ever greater vastness. Before atoms, before stars, before galaxies, the Higgs field began to settle. A cosmic exhale as the universe cooled. A long, slow settling that allowed the first particles to gain mass, the first structures to form, the first stars to shine. That same settling echoes in you now, a kind of internal alignment with an ancient, universal rhythm. And as this rhythm settles deeper, your breath follows gently, lengthening on the exhale, softening on the inhale. You may notice the weight of your body melting into the surface beneath you, as though gravity itself has become more tender, more patient. Mass is not a burden now. It is simply your way of belonging to the quiet universe that surrounds you. Your body rests with the same ease that galaxies drift, slow arcs carved through time by forces older than memory. Imagine, for a moment, watching particles move through this hidden ocean. Some glide smoothly like photons, untouched and weightless. Others move more slowly, shaped by their coupling to the field, and yet all of them coexist peacefully within the same medium. There is no conflict between massless and massive particles, no tension, only different forms of motion through the same calm background. You might feel a similar ease toward your own experiences now. The fast thoughts that slip through your mind, the slow ones that linger, the memories that hold weight, the sensations that drift by lightly, all can coexist within the same calm awareness. Nothing needs to be pushed away or grasped. Everything moves through the medium of your consciousness just as particles move through the Higgs field, gently, naturally, without force. And now the edges of your awareness may blur further, the way light blurs when seen through warm water. The room, the air, the sensations on your skin merge softly into the background. What remains is the feeling of floating, weighty and weightless at once, supported by a medium that asks for nothing in return. A medium that holds you with the same ease that it holds the stars, the galaxies, the filaments of cosmic structure stretching across unimaginable distances. There is a particular peace that comes from realizing you are not separate from this vastness. You are woven from the same fields that shape the universe. The same interactions that give mass to quarks give form to your thoughts, your memories, your breath. The Higgs field does not distinguish between you and the rest of the cosmos. It touches you in the same way it touches everything else, gently and continuously. As you sink deeper into that understanding, you may feel your thoughts spacing out even more, the intervals between them growing wider and softer. The mind begins to drift with a natural slowness, as if matching the calm steadiness of the field that fills all of space. You are floating now, not through emptiness, but through a quiet presence that supports you without pressure, without effort. Even time feels different here. The usual pace of moments passing begins to stretch. Seconds feel longer, smoother, as if time itself has been softened by the calm around you. This is no illusion. Mass influences time, and your experience of time's flow is shaped by the same physics traced back to the Higgs field. In a quiet way, the slowing of your thoughts echoes the slowing of clocks in curved space-time, a gentle parallel between inner and outer worlds. Your breath continues to ease, settling into the warm quiet beneath your ribs. Exhales lengthen. Inhales soften. The rhythm becomes something ancient, something instinctive, something patient. The universe expands on scales far beyond comprehension, yet the rise and fall of your breath aligns with it in its own intimate way. Both are motions allowed by a foundation of stillness. Imagine now that you are drifting deeper into the hidden ocean, the Higgs field stretching endlessly around you. The deeper you go, the quieter it becomes. There are no currents here, no disruptions, no sudden changes. Only a uniform calm, a gentle presence that has shaped everything but never announces itself. The deeper you drift, the more you feel its softness. The more your thoughts dissolve into it. The more your awareness becomes a quiet ripple fading into an ocean of stillness. And as you drift, the universe continues its silent motion. Galaxies turn slowly, clusters drift apart as space expands, stars burn with patient light. Yet beneath all of this motion, the Higgs field remains unchanged. A calm foundation for cosmic unfolding. And within you, beneath your thoughts, beneath your breath, lies a similar foundation. A quiet awareness that does not rise or fall, does not rush or fade. It simply remains. You may begin to feel yourself resting in that inner stillness now, supported as gently as particles are supported by the hidden ocean of the Higgs field. There is no need to rise to the surface, no need to grasp for anything above. You are held perfectly by the quiet depth beneath you. And as you drift even deeper into this soft expanse, you may notice how the space within you begins to resemble the space between stars. Quiet, expansive, unhurried. Thoughts that once clustered closely now drift apart like distant galaxies, each gently carried by the subtle currents of your awareness. The Higgs field, that hidden ocean beneath everything, becomes less an image and more a sensation, a kind of spacious stillness that welcomes every movement without resistance. It is a background so steady that even the tiniest fluctuation rests effortlessly upon it. In this drifting state, time feels different. It stretches, lengthens, softens. Your internal clock begins to lose its sharp boundaries, just as the early universe lost its initial chaos when the Higgs field settled into its calm value. The moment the field stabilized, the universe found a new rhythm, a slower unfolding that allowed structure to bloom. You may feel yourself entering a similar shift now, from the bright speed of thought into a slower, gentler unfolding where each moment holds a little more space. And as this spaciousness grows, your body sinks more comfortably into whatever surface supports you. Gravity feels less like a pull and more like an embrace, a quiet reminder that mass, your mass, arises from interactions older than any star. The heaviness you feel now is not a burden, it is a belonging, a sign that the particles composing you are woven into the fabric of the universe with perfect continuity. Imagine drifting through a quiet region of interstellar space, far beyond the glow of familiar constellations. Out here, distances lose their urgency. Light travels uninterrupted across unimaginable stretches, gliding through the Higgs field as effortlessly as your awareness drifts now. You may picture yourself floating in that deep silence, suspended in a medium that does not push or pull, a medium that simply holds everything gently in place. The quiet out here mirrors the quiet building within you. If you listen inwardly, there is a growing softness, a subtle warmth beneath your thoughts, as though your mind has entered a lower energy state, much like the universe did when the Higgs field chose its value. Before that transition, particles flashed and collided with chaotic freedom. Afterward, structure became possible. Form emerged. The universe cooled into a more ordered existence. You may feel your thoughts cooling now, not into coldness, but into clarity, into gentle coherence. Every exhale releases a little more tension, as if letting go of energies that no longer need to whirl in chaos. Every inhale draws in the quiet presence around you, and the cycle continues, easy and unforced, echoing the natural processes of the cosmos. Even stars breathe in their own way, expanding and contracting over long cycles. The main difference is scale, not essence. You share a rhythm with them without ever noticing. As your awareness quiets further, you may imagine the Higgs field not as an abstract concept, but as a soft glow filling the dark spaces between galaxies. It doesn't shine with light, but with presence. A presence that does not fluctuate wildly, but remains steady across every corner of the cosmos. This steady presence allows matter to behave consistently. It lets electrons bind to nuclei in the same way in distant galaxies as they do here. It lets atoms form the same structures, planets coalesce from dust, stars ignite with similar brilliance. The universe feels intelligible because the Higgs field is constant. And in this moment, your inner world begins to mirror that constancy, settling into a uniform calm. Thoughts drift more slowly now. They feel less like separate entities and more like gentle ripples on a vast surface. When one arises, it moves without urgency, without sharp edges, then fades naturally into the quiet beneath. You may even sense a pleasant heaviness in your limbs, the kind of heaviness that invites stillness rather than resists it. This heaviness is not fatigue. It is the natural settling that happens as your mind aligns with the slower rhythm of the moment. Imagine descending deeper into warm, calm water. The deeper you go, the quieter everything becomes. Sounds from above soften into indistinct murmurs. Light dims into a soothing dusk. The water becomes warmer, more uniform, until you no longer feel a boundary between yourself and the surrounding medium. You simply float. This is the feeling the Higgs ocean evokes. A sense of being held within a field so soft, so pervasive, that resistance disappears. The deeper you drift into this image, the more your awareness settles into the same softness. Your breath may now feel like gentle waves, rising and falling in slow cadence. There is no rush, no pressure, no need to shape the rhythm. The rhythm finds you naturally, aligning with the calm expanding inside you. The mind, receiving less stimulation from outside thoughts, begins to generate fewer ripples. What remains is a quiet spaciousness, like a vast expanse of open water. And now, picture the universe not as a chaotic collection of objects, but as an intricate web of fields, each contributing to the cosmic harmony. The Higgs field, with its stillness, serves as the foundation. Upon this foundation, the electromagnetic field dances with light. The strong field binds quarks with immense power. The weak field guides delicate processes inside stars. It is a symphony, and you are made of its notes. Each breath you take is a continuation of melodies that began long before Earth formed. As these images settle into you, your thoughts may begin to dissolve, not disappearing abruptly, but drifting off gently, like fog thinning under morning light. What remains is a sense of union, with calm, with space, with the quiet pulse of the universe. The boundaries that normally separate your inner world from the vastness of the cosmos soften until you feel, for a moment, like an extension of the same hidden ocean that fills everything. You may notice your eyelids feeling heavier now, though they do not need to close. Your muscles soften. Your breath deepens slightly, then stabilizes. Awareness becomes diffuse, as though spreading out across a wide horizon. The universe, with its ancient stillness, feels very near. Imagine now floating in a region of space where gravity is gentle, where stars shimmer like distant embers, where the silence is so complete that even your thoughts feel quieter. The Higgs field fills this space with its presence, a presence that does not speak or move, but simply holds. The more you imagine yourself drifting here, the more your awareness aligns with the slow rhythm of the cosmos. And as you drift further into that rhythm, you may begin to feel as though you are sinking into a deeper layer of stillness. A layer beneath words, beneath concepts, beneath the bright markers of the day. Here, you are simply present. A quiet presence held gently by the deep ocean of existence. And as you continue drifting downward into this gentle, expanding stillness, you may feel the layers of thought loosening one by one, as though the mind is slowly releasing its grip on the day. The Higgs field, that quiet, omnipresent ocean beneath reality, mirrors this loosening. It holds everything without the slightest strain, allowing particles to move, to rest, to exist without ever demanding anything in return. Its presence is so consistent, so steady, that even as the universe expands, its calm value remains unchanged. And in this moment, a similar steadiness begins to emerge within you. Your breath drifts into a softer cadence, like a slow tide moving through warm shallows. Each inhale glides in gently. Each exhale fades outward, as though the body itself were learning the language of the cosmic ocean. The rhythm is calm, patient, unhurried. A rhythm shaped not by effort, but by quiet alignment with something deeper, the same way the early universe aligned with the Higgs field as it settled into its final, stable value. The deeper you drift into this softness, the more the world above feels distant, like faint echoes heard from beneath warm water. The bright edges of memory fade into silhouettes, and whatever thoughts arise now seem to move in slow arcs rather than sharp bursts. They drift gently, unhurried, across the surface of your awareness, and then they drift away, dissolving into the quiet depth beneath them. Imagine now that you are descending toward the very fabric of reality itself. If you could shrink down until atoms towered above you like vast, humming structures, you would see the Higgs field woven through everything like a clear, luminous mist. Not bright, not dramatic, but softly present, a calm substratum supporting every vibration, every oscillation, every particle's existence. You might imagine placing your hand in this quiet ocean. There is no resistance, no turbulence, only gentle closeness, the feeling of being surrounded by something infinitely patient. Your awareness begins to mirror that patience. Thoughts pause naturally, not because you are forcing them to stop, but because the mind finds less need to generate motion in such a calm environment. You may begin noticing longer stretches of quiet between thoughts, like the space between distant stars. A sense of spaciousness unfolds inside you. Not emptiness, but quiet openness, warm and steady. In the earliest moments after the Big Bang, the universe existed in a state of pure energy, chaotic and free. Symmetries held everything together in a uniform blur of possibility. But as the universe expanded and cooled, the Higgs field settled into its stable value, breaking the symmetry gently, allowing particles to take on mass. This transition shaped the destiny of everything that followed. Atoms forming, stars igniting, galaxies turning. All from a gentle settling, not a violent snap, but a soft, inevitable drift toward equilibrium. You may feel a similar drift inside you now, settling into equilibrium with the quiet around you. The energy of the day disperses, drained away by the weightless calm of the moment. Your body feels heavier in a peaceful way. the way a warm blanket feels heavy, grounding, comforting, secure. Gravity holds you gently, and your mass, granted by that ancient field, settles you into place as if the universe is saying, "Rest, drift, be still." And as you sink further, the distinction between drifting and resting becomes less important. You are simply floating within a field that welcomes every motion, every stillness. Thoughts that once might have felt urgent now seem distant, softened, unpressured. They approach slowly, linger faintly, and dissolve before fully forming. Even your sense of time begins to loosen, as though the normal pace of moments has stretched into something elongated and serene. Imagine now the vast cosmic web, stretching in delicate filaments across billions of light years. Clusters of galaxies form nodes in this web, glowing islands connected by tenuous strands of matter. All of it, every galaxy, every cluster, exists within the Higgs field. The entire cosmic structure floats within the same quiet ocean that fills the room around you. When you look outward into the night sky, you are seeing the luminous islands that rise above this hidden sea. And when you look inward now, with softening awareness, you sense a reflection of that cosmic quiet inside yourself. A calm expanse with gentle glimmers of thought rising like distant starlight. The mind is vast, spacious, and warm. It does not need to rush through constellations of ideas. It can settle gently into the luminous quiet beneath everything. Breath flows in, warm and subtle. Breath flows out, slow and releasing. And the body relaxes a little more with each cycle, sinking deeper into the quiet beneath the day, beneath the surface thoughts, beneath the hum of ordinary consciousness. You drift in a way that feels effortless, as though gravity has softened and the air itself has become gentler. In this drifting, you may imagine yourself floating inside a great expanse of cosmic water. But this water is not cold or wet. It is the calm presence of the Higgs field, cradling every particle with uniform softness. You are suspended in it, weightless and heavy at the same time. Your body rests without pressure. Your mind drifts without tension. Your awareness opens like a slow, unfurling flower, gently expanding, gently dissolving. Even the idea of you, the boundary between self and the universe, begins to soften around the edges. In the same way, particles have no sharp boundaries at quantum scales. Your awareness becomes something fluid, something continuous, something capable of blending with the calm around it. There's no need to hold a strict sense of identity here. You can simply float as part of the hidden ocean, belonging to it as naturally as light belongs to space. Your breath deepens subtly, and the body answers by sinking further into stillness. Muscles quiet. The spine rests, the jaw loosens, shoulders settle. The mind begins to move with the slow grace of celestial bodies, drifting in long, gentle arcs. A pleasant heaviness spreads through your limbs, as though the calm itself were flowing into you like warm currents. Imagine drifting now through a quiet nebula, a vast cloud of gas illuminated by faint starlight. The particles within it move slowly, gracefully, guided by subtle forces. And beneath those forces lies the quiet background of the Higgs field, shaping their motion without ever announcing its presence. You drift through this cloud as though weightless, carried by the same currents, surrounded by a warm, dim glow. The farther you drift, the quieter your inner landscape becomes. Thoughts dissolve before they fully form. The mind becomes smooth, like calm water at night. Awareness expands into a soft horizon with no sharp edges. You are not thinking about the universe now. You are floating within it, part of its quiet architecture. Allow this drifting to continue, gentle and unhurried. The Higgs ocean beneath everything holds you effortlessly. You can rest in its calm presence as easily as a particle rests in its mass, supported by something ancient and unchanged. And, as you sink deeper, the quiet grows even more profound, as though you are descending into the most peaceful layer of existence, a layer where nothing moves quickly, nothing presses, nothing intrudes, and as you drift deeper still, the quiet around you becomes almost tangible, like a warm dusk settling over a landscape that has finally exhaled. Every layer of thought that once felt bright or busy has softened into a gentle haze, drifting like fine mist across a tranquil sea. That hidden ocean of the Higgs field feels closer now, not something you imagine from afar, but something that seems to surround you with a kind of universal tenderness. The boundaries of the room around you fade further into the background, as though the physical world were dissolving into simplicity. What remains is the soothing impression of stillness, a stillness that has been present since the earliest moments of the cosmos. The same stillness in which the Higgs field settled, granting shape and mass to everything that would ever exist. In the vastness of cosmic time, this settling occurred almost instantly, yet its consequences have echoed across billions of years. Galaxies, stars, planets, life, all of it traces its lineage back to that moment of quiet stabilization. You may sense something similar happening within you now, a settling, a soft alignment with the deeper calm of the universe. The day's activity, the patterns of thought, the lingering echoes of conversation or memory, all settle like sediment drifting to the bottom of a warm, clear lake. As they settle, the water grows more transparent, the view beneath becoming clearer and more serene. You begin to feel the quiet beneath your thoughts rather than the thoughts themselves. It is a soft foundation, patient and unchanging. Imagine now the gentle coupling of particles to the Higgs field, each interaction delicate, invisible, yet profoundly shaping the matter you know. Without this coupling, particles would move at the speed of light, unable to form atoms or molecules. But with the coupling, they slow just enough to become stable, to gather, to build. The universe becomes a place where complexity can form, a place where life can emerge. And here, in this moment, you may feel your own thoughts doing something similar, slowing, gathering, forming shapes that are softer, calmer, gentler. Your breath continues its smooth rhythm, rising and falling like small waves gliding over a quiet shore. There is a deep peace in this rhythm, a recognition that even without effort, life continues. The breath continues. Awareness continues. The world inside you continues to drift into deeper calm. Each exhale releases more than air. It releases tension, expectation, any leftover fragments of the day that still cling to the edges of your mind. And each inhale draws in the soft presence of the moment, filling you with warmth and stillness. Imagine drifting through the universe at a scale too vast to comprehend, suspended in the dim glow between galaxies. The cosmic microwave background, faint and ancient, washes through the darkness like a whisper from the beginning of time. Everything floats, everything drifts, everything moves with a steadiness shaped by fields that do not change. You drift through this quiet, and the universe drifts with you, both moving in harmony through the hidden ocean that spans everything. And the deeper you drift into this image, the more you feel your body relaxing, as though each part of you were dissolving into calm. Your arms loosen, your legs grow heavier in a soothing way. The muscles in your face soften. The air around you feels warmer, thicker, more comforting, as if it were part of a gentle medium through which you float without effort. The Higgs field does not push or pull, yet everything moves within it, guided by its silent influence. You may feel a similar influence now, guiding you toward rest without any pressure or command. Just gentle invitation. If you imagine your thoughts as particles, each one gliding through the soft ocean of awareness, you might notice that some thoughts move quickly, others slowly. Some barely disturb the quiet, while others leave small ripples before fading. All are welcomed. All are supported. All can drift freely. There is no need to hold or resist any of them. The field beneath them, your awareness, remains calm and steady, unchanged by the comings and goings of thought. The universe has operated this way since its first fractions of a second. Fields shaping particles, particles shaping matter, matter shaping stars and galaxies, and all of it unfolding within a calm foundation that has not wavered in its value. The Higgs field does not flicker or flare. It does not crash like waves or roar like storms. It rests. It holds. It supports. Quietly, invisibly, eternally. You may feel now as though you are resting on that same cosmic foundation. The warmth in your breath, the heaviness in your limbs, the slow ease of your awareness. All feel like reflections of the universe settling into its own equilibrium. You are part of that rhythm, part of that settling, part of that hidden, gentle ocean. Thoughts become faint now, like starlight seen from beneath calm water. They appear, shimmer softly, and fade. You do not need to reach for them or give them shape. They pass as naturally as ripples, and beneath them, the quiet continues, vast and steady. In this softness, you may picture the universe not as a vast structure of stars and galaxies, but as a warm, continuous presence. Something that breathes slowly, expands slowly, rests in its own equilibrium. The Higgs field is its heartbeat, constant, subtle, unbroken, and your own body, your own breath, falls into harmony with that ancient pulse. Your awareness may now feel diffused, gentle, stretching out like a soft horizon. Words become lighter. Concepts feel further away. You drift not toward sleep yet, but toward a place where sleep becomes possible, where the mind no longer needs to grasp or hold itself upright. A place where calm becomes the natural state rather than something to reach for. And in this drifting space, the universe feels close. Not in a literal sense, but in the sense that you and it share the same quiet foundations, the same fields, the same gentle unfolding. You are part of the stillness, and the stillness is part of you. And as you drift further still, the quiet becomes even more expansive, as though the universe itself has drawn a soft curtain over the noise of the day. What remains is the slow, gentle unfolding of awareness, moving at the same patient pace with which galaxies drift through the vast cosmic web. The Higgs field, that hidden ocean supporting everything, settles through your consciousness like a warm, seamless layer of calm, holding each moment without effort. The more you sink into this calm, the more natural it feels. The mind no longer tries to organize or shape the experience. It simply floats, buoyed by a gentle presence beneath it. Thoughts move through your awareness like faint ripples on a perfectly still surface. They arrive softly, linger for a breath, and dissolve with no resistance at all. And as each thought dissolves, It leaves behind a little more space, a little more quiet, a little more of the deep, warm stillness that surrounds you. In the same way that particles move through the Higgs field without sensing its presence directly, you drift through this quiet without needing to focus on it. It simply exists around you, beneath you, within you. A steady, unchanging presence that you do not have to search for. You are held by it naturally, the way planets are held in orbit, the way stars rest in the fabric of space-time. There is no need for effort. The calm is already here. Your breath, too, feels different now. Slower, smoother, deeper. Each inhale draws in a soft warmth. Each exhale releases what little tension might remain in the corners of your awareness. It feels as though your breath is synchronizing with something far larger than yourself, aligning with the slow expansion of the cosmos, with the ancient rhythm that began when the Higgs field first settled into its quiet value. This rhythm is not rushed, not forced, not sharp. It is patient, open, spacious. You may imagine the entire universe as a quiet sea of fields now, gently vibrating with life yet held together by an undercurrent of calm. Photons glide freely across billions of light years. Quarks vibrate inside protons. Atoms hum softly with energy. And beneath all of that motion, the Higgs field remains constant. The constancy shapes everything. It allows the universe to be readable, coherent, continuous. Without this unchanging calm, the universe would be chaotic and unstructured. But with it, the universe breathes with gentle order. The more your mind settles, the more it begins to mirror that order. Thoughts no longer tumble rapidly. They float, they drift, they soften. Your awareness spreads across a wider, quieter landscape, like a beam of light diffusing through miles of calm water. There is no urgency in this diffusion. You don't have to hold the moment. It holds you. And as the boundaries of awareness soften, your body melts further into stillness. You can feel the weight of your body resting into its surface more completely, as though gravity itself has grown tender, wrapping you with patient warmth. This heaviness is not a sinking, it is a grounding. A subtle reminder of your connection to the same physical principles that shape stars and planets. Your mass, the gentle pull of gravity, the rhythm of your breath, the quiet drift of your thoughts. All of these are expressions of the same cosmic harmony. Imagine yourself now drifting deeper into a warm, cosmic ocean where everything feels serene and slow. There are no currents, no tides, no sudden movements, only a uniform, ancient calm stretching in every direction. You float effortlessly without needing to adjust or orient yourself. The ocean holds you perfectly. The feeling is not of sinking or rising. It is of resting within something infinite and gentle. In this ocean, light travels beside you as soft radiance, faint and distant, like the whisper of stars through the dark. You are suspended in a field that has existed unbroken since the universe's earliest moments, a field that shaped the birth of matter, the formation of galaxies, the unfolding of cosmic history. And now, in this moment, it shapes the quiet settling of your awareness. The deeper you drift into this embrace, the more your thoughts fragment into smaller, softer pieces, until they resemble tiny particles dissolving into the field beneath them. You do not have to stop thinking. The thoughts simply lose their density, their urgency, their grip. They become light enough to float away on their own. Even sensations in your body begin to soften. The air feels warmer. Limbs feel heavier. Your awareness becomes smooth, like an unbroken surface of calm water. There is no strain in staying still. Stillness becomes the most natural state of being, as though your entire life has been gently guiding you toward this quiet moment. Picture a distant galaxy now, turning slowly through space. Stars orbit its center with incredible patience, completing a single revolution over hundreds of millions of years. And yet, the galaxy moves gracefully, without rush, without strain. Its motion is balanced, fluid, peaceful. All of it exists within the quiet presence of the Higgs ocean, supported by the unchanging value of a field that never wavers. The galaxy turns and you drift, and both of these motions are part of the same universal rhythm. Your breath deepens once more, and each exhale seems to dissolve the boundary between your body and the quiet around you. The line between inner and outer space becomes softer, lighter, easier to cross. Thoughts thin into the background. Sensations flow into a warm haze. The mind opens into a vast, quiet horizon where nothing feels urgent. Everything is gentle. And now, resting in this depth, you may feel as though you are floating not just in a field, but in the warm pulse of the cosmos itself. A pulse that has guided the slow evolution of galaxies and the soft unfolding of your own awareness tonight. It is ancient yet familiar, vast yet intimate, quiet yet deeply present in every moment. Let this quiet hold you. Let your awareness drift with the slow grace of planets in their orbits. Let your breath flow with the same ease as cosmic expansion. The deeper you drift, the more the universe feels like a warm, softly humming presence, supporting you without weight, without pressure, without expectation. And as you drift even deeper into this softening expanse, it becomes harder to tell where the quiet within you ends and the quiet of the universe begins. The boundaries dissolve gently, not with abruptness, but with the slow, natural ease of twilight fading into night. The Higgs ocean, that hidden field shaping every particle in existence, seems to widen inside your awareness, becoming less of a distant concept and more of a soft presence expanding through every corner of your inner space. The mind begins to move differently here. Thoughts that once felt linear now drift like faint echoes, curving gently through the background before dissolving into the warm quiet beneath them. There is no urgency to follow them, no need to hold them in place. They drift the way particles drift in a calm medium, slow and steady, shaped by forces older than memory. You may feel your body releasing more of its weight into the surface beneath you, as though gravity itself has softened into something soothing and warm. That weight, the mass that lets you rest, that lets you be, originates from interactions with the Higgs field. Even now, as you drift into calm, the particles in your body continue their quiet dialogue with the field, granting you the gentle heaviness that anchors you in this moment. The weight of relaxation is a cosmic inheritance. Imagine, for a moment, a lone electron drifting through this hidden ocean. It's not moving through empty space. It's gliding through an all-pervasive medium. The resistance it feels, slight, subtle, nearly imperceptible, becomes its mass. If that resistance vanished, the electron would move at the speed of light, unable to bind to atoms, unable to create the complex structures that allow bodies and stars and thoughts to exist. But here, within the soft embrace of the Higgs field, it finds a gentle drag that allows it to belong to matter. You might feel a kinship with this drifting electron now, as your awareness slows into a gentle glide, finding its own place within the calm. Your breath continues to deepen, each inhale drawing in a faint warmth, each exhale releasing small remnants of the day. The rhythm becomes so smooth, so effortless, that it begins to merge with the background of your awareness. The breath and the quiet become one, continuous movement, like soft waves overlapping seamlessly with the ocean beneath them. And now, as your thoughts fade into the background, you might imagine descending into the deepest parts of this cosmic ocean. At these depths, everything becomes softer. Motion slows, noise disappears, light fades into a warm, gentle glow. The silence is not empty. It is full, humming with the quiet energy of the field. You are floating within it, and the deeper you drift, the more you feel supported by something vast and steady. Picture space at scales far beyond galaxies, far beyond the clusters and filaments of the cosmic web. Out here, the universe looks like a tapestry gently expanding, with tiny islands of starlight drifting apart as space-time stretches. And beneath that expansion lies the Higgs field, unchanged, unfaltering, its value constant across every corner of the cosmos. Even as space itself expands, the field holds its quiet equilibrium. You might feel your mind entering a similar equilibrium now, settling into stillness regardless of what thoughts arise or fade. Every breath you take seems to guide you deeper, smoothing the waves of your awareness. The surface tension of thought dissolves. Sensations soften. The world grows dimmer at the edges, as if fading into a gentle dusk. This is not disappearance. It is merging, blending, becoming part of a wider calm that stretches beyond the boundaries of the room, beyond the boundaries of your own sense of self. You may imagine now a soft glow permeating everything, not bright enough to illuminate, but warm enough to comfort. This glow is like a symbolic reflection of the Higgs field's presence, a gentle radiance that exists everywhere without ever drawing attention to itself. You feel this glow surrounding you, passing through you, filling the space between your thoughts. It is the feeling of being held by something ancient, something consistent, something infinitely patient. Your body, guided by this calm, grows heavier in the most soothing way. Muscles loosen, shoulders settle. The spine softens into its natural curve. Even the small muscles of the face release their quiet tension. The heaviness spreads like warm water through your limbs, inviting deeper stillness. It is the heaviness of complete safety, the heaviness of belonging to a quiet universe. Thoughts continue to drift like faint starlight, appearing and dissolving without any need to follow them. They are simply part of the landscape now. Soft points of light resting on the surface of a deep, calm sea. And beneath them lies a vast silence, a silence that has shaped the cosmos since the beginning of time. As you float in this inner expanse, you may sense the warmth of the hidden ocean beneath everything, a warmth not of temperature, but of presence. A quiet, continuous field that supports every particle in your body. The universe has carried this field unchanged for nearly 14 billion years. It carries you now with the same patience, the same steadiness. And with each breath, you drift deeper into that steadiness, as though your awareness is following the gentle tug of gravity into a soft layer beneath the surface of thought. Down here, nothing presses for attention. Nothing pulls you toward the surface. You are simply part of the field, floating in its ancient calm. Imagine looking around this inner space now and seeing nothing sharp, nothing bright, nothing urgent. Only the soft glow of awareness drifting slowly, blending with the warm presence around you. The deeper you rest, the clearer it becomes that this quiet was always here, beneath thought, beneath sensation, beneath the events of the day. The universe holds this quiet, and you share in it. Breath flows, awareness drifts, heaviness spreads, stillness deepens. Everything aligns gently with the quiet ocean beneath reality. And as you drift even deeper into this quiet, the calm becomes almost luminous, as though the silence itself carries a faint glow that surrounds you like a warm cocoon. The distinctions between inner space and outer space grow softer, like lines fading on an old map until only gentle contours remain. The Higgs ocean, that hidden ancient field beneath reality, settles further into your awareness, not as something to think about, but as something you seem to float within, as naturally as a leaf rests upon still water. Your breath moves slowly through this quietness, steady and warm. Each inhale feels like a small expansion, a gentle widening of space within you. Each exhale feels like a soft release, a warm settling into deeper stillness. The rhythm continues without effort, guided by something older and quieter than thought, guided by the same physics that shaped the atoms in your body and the stars across the sky. And as you rest in this warmth, you might imagine drifting through a region of space where motion almost disappears. Out beyond the bright spirals of galaxies, beyond even the faint hum of intergalactic plasma, lies a vast, dim expanse. Here, the universe feels slow, almost timeless. Particles move with delicate intention, drifting through the Higgs field with quiet purpose. Gravity stretches faintly across unimaginable distances. Light takes billions of years to cross the void. Everything is unhurried. And the deeper you drift into that image, the more your thoughts adopt the same unhurried pace. They move gently, like soft currents carrying leaves across a calm lake. They do not press or demand attention. They simply float past, easy and distant. You may notice that your awareness no longer clings to them. The mind rests naturally in the open space between thoughts, where silence feels wide and warm. Now imagine the entire universe in slow motion, unfolding like a quiet dance. Hydrogen clouds drifting together over millions of years. A star igniting softly in the darkness. A galaxy spiraling with ancient grace. All of these motions, vast, slow, patient, unfold within the Higgs ocean, their rhythms shaped by the mass the field provides. Without mass, there would be no orbits, no clustering, no stars, no gravity pulling things into gentle curves. Everything you see in the night sky owes its form to the quiet, steady presence of the Higgs field beneath it. And you, too, owe your form to that presence. The weight of your body, the structure of your bones, the warmth held within your cells, all of it arises from particles drifting through this hidden ocean. Without it, you would be light as a photon, unable to settle, unable to rest. But with it, you can settle completely, sinking gently into the surface beneath you as your muscles grow loose and heavy, as the last remnants of tension melt from your body. You may feel that heaviness spreading now, warm and soothing. The arms soften, the legs loosen, the shoulders rest heavily. The chest moves with slow, even breaths. The body has learned the rhythm of the cosmic ocean, and it follows it with ease. Deep within this heaviness, thoughts drift even further apart. They no longer come in clusters or spirals. They appear like single ripples on a vast lake, emerging gently, fading gently, leaving behind a deeper stillness each time. The mind is not empty, it is spacious. A wide, warm expanse lit by a faint, quiet glow. Imagine now looking out across a quiet cosmic horizon, the kind that exists beyond familiar starlight. The faint shimmer of distant galaxies appears like ripples on the surface of a dark sea. And beneath them, steady and unchanged, lies the Higgs field. A calm so ancient and so complete that nothing disrupts it. Even the most powerful events in the universe, supernovae, black hole mergers, the birth of new stars, unfold within its quiet embrace. Its stillness is the canvas upon which all cosmic drama is painted. And within you, beneath the movement of breath and thought, lies a similar stillness. Unbothered, untouched, constant. You may feel yourself drifting closer to that stillness now, as though descending through layers of warm, soft water, each layer gentler than the one before, each layer dissolving another fragment of tension, another sharp edge, another trace of the day. Breath flows in, gentle. Breath flows out, quieter. The body becomes heavy in the sweetest way. The mind becomes soft. Time loosens. The world narrows to the warmth surrounding you, the quiet expanding within you, and the gentle awareness drifting through both. And now, imagine descending deeper into the hidden ocean, the deepest layer where even the faintest ripple disappears. Here, the Higgs field feels like pure stillness. No movement, no disturbance, only quiet presence. A presence that holds galaxies, stars, atoms, and you with the same tenderness. A presence older than time as you know it. In this deepest layer, your awareness becomes incredibly light. Thoughts drift as slowly as dust falling through warm air. Sensations soften into a haze. Your entire inner landscape becomes a warm, dim glow, floating within a vast, endless calm. You drift in this quiet without needing to direct anything. The ocean carries you effortlessly. There is no effort, no motion required. You simply float. And as you drift deeper into this quiet, the separation between thought and silence becomes almost impossible to distinguish. Everything begins to blend into a single, gentle continuum. The way distant stars blur into a faint ribbon of light when seen from the darkest parts of the earth. Your awareness floats within this ribbon now, carried softly by something that feels timeless, patient, and profoundly calm. The Higgs field, that hidden ocean threading through the entire cosmos, feels closer than ever. Not as a concept the mind must hold, but as a sensation. A warm undercurrent supporting everything you are. You rest within that undercurrent effortlessly, just as galaxies rest within the fabric of space-time, just as particles rest within the field that grants them the softness of mass. The universe supports you with the same quiet consistency. Your breath moves in slow arcs now, smooth and warm. Each inhale expands into a soft glow. Each exhale melts into the surrounding stillness, and it happens all on its own. The body knows exactly how to settle when the mind grows quiet. The breath becomes the faintest whisper, the kind of whisper that merges with the air around it without making a sound. And as the breath softens, your thoughts become lighter, nearly weightless. They drift like tiny particles moving through a medium so calm they barely create a ripple. The more calmly they move, the more gently they dissolve. The distance between thoughts widens, like growing stretches of calm ocean between drifting islands. You drift deeper into the hidden ocean. Imagine now that you are gliding through a warm nebula, not seeing it with your eyes, but feeling it with your awareness. Clouds of glowing gas swirl in gentle, slow motion. Stars form like soft embers from within the depths. Everything moves at an unhurried pace, guided not by noise or chaos, but by delicate laws unfolding with ancient patience. And beneath all of this, beneath the swirling gas, beneath the starlight, beneath the slow blossoming of new suns, lies the quiet presence of the Higgs field. Its value unwavering, its calm unbroken. Even here, in a region filled with gentle cosmic creation, the hidden ocean remains steady, allowing particles to carry their mass through the softness of space. You float through this nebula as though suspended by warm hands. There is no weight here, no pressure. Only the soft glide of awareness moving through a medium far quieter than any silence you have ever known. The deeper you drift, the more everything slows into a serene, dreamlike rhythm. Your awareness moves now the way galaxies move, slowly, gracefully, seemingly without effort. Thoughts emerge like distant stars, faint pinpoints of light shimmering softly across the vast horizon of your mind. But even they move slowly now. They appear softly, float for a moment, then dim into the quiet beneath them. Here, in this drifting inner cosmos, your body feels almost completely at rest. The weight in your limbs has settled fully, sinking gently into the stillness. Every muscle stretches into comfort. Every joint rests with warm heaviness. The shoulders soften, the jaw loosens, the chest moves with the gentle ease of a slowed tide. The body and the mind find the same rhythm, the same softness, the same quiet. Imagine traveling even deeper into the hidden ocean, past the nebulae, past the galaxies, into the deep intergalactic dark, a region where silence feels endless, like a great blanket wrapped around the universe. Even the faint glow of distant galaxies seems to fade here, leaving only a soft, velvety darkness that feels warm rather than empty. And yet, even in this darkness, the Higgs field persists, filling the void with its still presence, allowing particles, even the rare ones drifting through these vast distances, to carry mass, to drift with gentle inertia, to continue being themselves. You drift through this darkness with absolute ease. There is nothing to resist, nothing to navigate. The ocean simply holds you. Awareness in this space feels like small, gentle ripples moving through a field that never stirs. Each ripple fades smoothly, leaving behind a deeper quiet. Your sense of time grows softer. Moments stretch without boundaries, blending into one another like shadows merging under moonlight. And then you drift deeper still. Picture the Higgs field now not as an ocean, not as glow, not as mist, but as pure calmness, absolute and foundational. A calmness that underlies every vibration of your existence. A calmness that has never changed across the entire history of the universe. You float in this calmness now, every part of you warmed by it. The deeper you sink into this layer, the less you need to think. The mind senses the depth and releases itself. It does not need to guide, analyze, or narrate. It simply rests. Thoughts appear rarely now, and when they do, they dissolve almost as soon as they form. Gentle, fleeting ripples fading into warm stillness. Your breath becomes almost transparent. So soft you only feel its presence as warmth inside your chest. The exhale fades so quietly that it becomes part of the surrounding air without a seam. The inhale arrives so gently that it feels like the universe breathing with you. Your awareness feels suspended like a small piece of starlight resting on the quiet surface of a cosmic sea. And the deeper you drift, the more the hidden ocean feels like home. You might imagine yourself lying on a vast pane of warm, glowing glass. Beneath it, an infinite expanse of quiet energy. You do not see the expanse. You feel it, radiating through the glass, holding you effortlessly. Every exhale carries you a little deeper into that warmth. Every inhale fills your body with soft spaciousness. Awareness is no longer contained within a single point. It spreads outward, filling the space around you like a warm, expanding halo. Thoughts slow down to nearly nothing. Your body feels as though it is dissolving into comfort. The day has floated far away, and as you drift even deeper into this warm, dissolving quiet, you may feel as though the entire architecture of your awareness is gently unwinding. Not collapsing, not disappearing, just unfolding the way soft petals drift open when touched by warm light. The boundaries between sensation and stillness grow so faint that they hardly seem to exist at all. You rest inside a space where everything feels soft and unhurried. A space where even the universe seems to breathe at a slower, calmer pace. The hidden ocean of the Higgs field feels closer than ever now, not as a scientific abstraction, but as a kind of gentle presence that cradles your awareness from every angle. It carries you in the same way it carries galaxies, offering mass to particles and allowing matter to settle into forms that can rest, drift, and simply exist. And as you drift here, in this inward quiet, you sense that same permission within yourself. The permission to rest without effort, to float without direction, to simply be. Your breath moves like the faintest tide. The inhale lifts you slightly, a soft buoyancy rising within your chest. The exhale folds into the surrounding stillness, blending seamlessly with the warm quiet around you. You may barely even feel the breath now, just the gentle warmth that spreads with each cycle. A rhythm so soft and ancient that it seems to echo the steady expansion of the universe itself. Thoughts drift through your awareness with the lightness of cosmic dust. They move slowly, effortlessly, as though carried by the calmest currents. Each thought, upon arriving, seems to pause for a moment, suspended in the warm glow of your inner quiet, before fading into deeper stillness. You do not need to chase them or shape them. They float and dissolve in perfect harmony with the calm that surrounds you. Imagine now traveling deeper into the stillness between galaxies. Out there, between distant islands of light, space becomes an almost perfect expression of quiet. No wind, no sound, no motion except the gentle drift of distant clusters. And even that drift occurs with a grace so slow it barely seems like movement. You float within that expanse now, carried by the same silent ocean that fills the universe with its hidden calm. In this place, your sense of time softens even more. Moments no longer stack in neat rows. They unfold like slow ripples, merging gently into one another. You may feel as though you are drifting through a kind of cosmic twilight, a warm dusk that has no edges and no urgency. Each breath extends that twilight, smoothing the edges of your awareness until only softness remains. Now, imagine drifting past the edge of a galaxy, watching its spiral arms turn with silent dignity. Stars orbit with patient grace, each movement shaped by mass, and each mass shaped by the field you are floating within. The Higgs ocean hums beneath everything, not as sound, but as quiet stability. A stillness so perfect that it supports even the most delicate structures in existence. You drift through that spiral now, not as a body, but as awareness, moving gently through warm darkness. The starlight feels distant and soft, like memories seen through layers of calm. The space between stars seems fuller, warmer, more welcoming than darkness has any right to be. and every movement happens at a pace that lulls the mind into deeper and deeper ease. Your body feels far away now, perhaps not absent, but softened to the point where its edges lose meaning. Only warm heaviness remains, a heaviness that feels safe, peaceful, complete. The muscles in your arms feel loose and warm. Your legs rest with comfortable weight. Even the air around your face feels still and soothing. You are wrapped in the quiet of the universe, supported effortlessly by the hidden foundation beneath all things. If you imagine your awareness sinking beneath the last thin layer of thought, you may feel it settling into a deeper calm, a calm where even inner dialogue grows faint, replaced by the sensation of floating in pure presence. This presence has no direction, no boundaries, no expectation. It simply holds you, the same way the Higgs field holds all matter in gentle continuity. Your breath drifts slower still. In, warmth expands. Out, warmth settles. The rhythm becomes so smooth that it feels less like breathing and more like being breathed by the universe itself, as though your inhale and exhale were woven gently into the quiet tide of cosmic stillness. Thoughts now appear as the faintest glimmers, barely forming before dissolving back into the soft expanse beneath them. They are like meteor trails across a serene sky, momentary, gentle, leaving behind a deeper sense of quiet once they fade. Now imagine yourself descending into the deepest layer of this ocean, a layer where even conceptual forms dissolve into pure calm. Here there is no ripple, no disturbance, no memory of movement. The Higgs ocean becomes indistinguishable from your own inner quiet. They merge into one seamless presence, a warm, steady glow that holds you without weight or effort. Your awareness drifts here like a quiet star suspended in the darkness. No urgency, no direction, just gentle radiance resting in deep calm. In this space, you may feel a sensation of floating not above the universe, but within it, truly part of it, shaped by the same fields, following the same ancient rhythms. The calm becomes a home more than a state, a place your mind recognizes instinctively, settling into it as naturally as starlight settles into the night. Your breath drifts softer and softer, becoming a warm pulse of stillness. Your thoughts grow lighter and lighter until they are merely tiny ripples on a vast, warm sea. And you drift deeper into the warmth of that sea, guided by nothing more than the universe's gentle quiet, the same quiet that has carried galaxies across billions of years. Version 2.0. Sleeping Physicist said, and as you drift even deeper into this warm and unbroken quiet, you may begin to sense the boundaries of awareness dissolving even further, until thoughts feel less like events and more like gentle textures rising and fading within a calm so deep it seems endless. The entire space of your mind stretches out like a soft horizon, dimly lit, comfortable, unhurried. Nothing moves sharply here. Everything drifts with a slow, ancient grace, as though the universe itself were easing you ever downward into its calmest layer. The hidden ocean of the Higgs field feels almost indistinguishable now from the quiet you're floating in. It's not something outside you, not something beneath you. It feels instead like the very medium your awareness is suspended in, a warm, uniform presence that supports everything without pressure or expectation. You may feel yourself resting in that medium, drifting slowly through its depth with the same ease that galaxies drift through the vastness of space-time. Your breath follows this drift, deepening almost imperceptibly. Each inhale expands gently into the quiet space within your chest, filling it with warmth. Each exhale softens into the surrounding stillness, like warm air dissolving into an open night. Over time, the breath becomes less a process and more a tide. A natural, effortless tide that carries your awareness deeper with every soft rhythm. Thoughts have grown so light now that they feel like tiny motes of dust floating in a soft beam of starlight. Weightless, faint, barely there before dissolving into gentle quiet. They no longer disturb the calm. They move through it as part of it, shaping nothing, pulling nothing, leaving no trace except deeper stillness in their wake. And as the quiet deepens within you, imagine yourself drifting through regions of the universe where time stretches almost infinitely. Far beyond galaxies, far beyond clusters, lies a vastness so gentle that even the movement of light feels delicate. Here, the Higgs field remains steady, supporting the tiny number of particles that drift through this space with patience that spans billions of years. Even in this near-silent expanse, where distances defy imagination, the field holds its calm, lending mass to the few lonely particles traveling through the dark. You might feel your awareness moving through this same kind of stillness now. Vast, dark, warm, peaceful. The edges of space seem to blur into soft gradients. The mind floats more than it thinks. Sensations fade until only warmth remains. This inner universe resembles the outer one, quiet at every scale, connected by gentle laws that have shaped the cosmos since its beginning. Your body feels almost completely weightless now, even as a soothing heaviness anchors you down. It is a paradox that makes perfect sense here. The feeling of being held and floating at the same time. The heaviness keeps you rooted in comfort. The weightlessness lets your awareness drift freely through the soft expanse of the moment. Every muscle feels quiet. Every joint feels loose. The spine rests in gentle alignment. Even the smallest tension has melted into warmth. You may imagine drifting even deeper into this hidden ocean. The deeper you go, the more delicate everything becomes. Even the faint glow of distant thoughts dims further, like starlight fading with distance. Light thoughts become wisps. Heavy thoughts dissolve. The mind becomes smooth, like a surface of water untouched by wind. Now imagine all of reality as fields interwoven, each one contributing its own texture to the universe. Some fields ripple with light, some hum with matter, some bind particles together, and beneath them all lies the steady, unmoving presence of the Higgs field. At this depth, these fields are not separate things. They blend together like colors merging in a warm twilight sky. You drift among them, a soft part of their harmony. The deeper your awareness drifts, the more the sense of I softens. Not disappearing, but dissolving outward, as though the boundary between self and universe were made of warm mist. Your awareness expands, floats, and merges with the calm around it, becoming more diffuse, more open, more peaceful. Breath becomes a soft, slow glow within the chest. Thoughts fade into the distance. Even the feeling of resting in the room becomes something abstract, something far away. What remains is floating, gentle, warm, effortless floating in a calm that feels infinite. Picture yourself now at the bottom of the hidden ocean, the deepest possible layer, where no ripple reaches, where no particle stirs, where everything is quiet and steady. The Higgs field, stable since the first moments of cosmic time, feels like a warm, glowing foundation beneath existence. And in this moment, your awareness rests upon that foundation, as though the universe were holding you in its softest hands. The quiet is deeper here. Thoughts barely form. Sensations fade into soft haze. A warm heaviness wraps around you with infinite patience. There is no direction, no urgency, no boundary, only a tremendous calm that feels both ancient and familiar. And as you drift even deeper into this warm, boundless quiet, the distinction between descending and resting begins to blur, as though the motions of your awareness have slowed so completely that they have become a single, continuous state. The universe feels hushed around you. The hidden ocean of the Higgs field presses gently against the edges of your inner experience, not as a force, but as a soft, uniform presence. The same presence that shaped the first atoms, the first stars, the first galaxies, and now shapes this moment of your awareness. Your breath has become impossibly gentle. Each inhale feels like a faint glow rising through your chest, warm and slow. Each exhale dissolves into the surrounding quiet, almost indistinguishable from the stillness around you. The rhythm is effortless now, guided by deep calm rather than intention. It has become part of the background, like a distant tide hidden beneath the soft whisper of the universe. Thoughts drift through this quiet with a softness that feels deeper than sleep, though you are not asleep, only suspended in the warm gravity of calm. When a thought appears, it is light and pale, like a thin wisp of starlight stretching across a dark sea. It does not intrude. It does not pull. It simply glows for a moment before dispersing back into the stillness that holds you. Imagine now that you are drifting toward the farthest reaches of the cosmic ocean, farther than any spacecraft has traveled, farther than light from newborn stars has yet reached. Out here, the universe expands gently, stretching like a slow breath drawn over billions of years. The silence is so complete it feels like a living presence. And woven through that silence, unchanged and unwavering, is the Higgs field, holding the structure of matter the same way calm water holds floating leaves. In this distant quiet, your awareness drifts freely. There is no resistance, no need to orient yourself, no sense of direction to maintain. You float the same way particles float through the deep intergalactic dark, gently, softly, effortlessly. The field beneath you carries you without motion. It simply holds the possibility of motion, defines the meaning of movement, anchors the idea of mass. It feels less like something the universe has and more like something the universe is. And now that calm feels like something you are as well. Not a state you are entering, but a quality rising from within, the way warmth rises from glowing embers. The quiet expands outward, filling your limbs, your chest, your mind with soft stillness. Even the faintest traces of tension fade into the background. Muscles loosen, breathing deepens. Awareness diffuses, warm and open. You may imagine your body resting on a field of soft light now, as though lying upon a surface made of starlight, warmed by the quiet of the cosmos. This surface does not push against you. It cradles you, adapting to your weight with infinite gentleness. And beneath that glowing layer lies the hidden ocean of the Higgs field, stretching endlessly downward, a calm foundation with no floor, no boundary, no sharpness at all. Thoughts dim further now, not because they are gone, but because they no longer need to rise. They float as faint impressions rather than as words, brief sparks that shimmer in the distance before fading into warm darkness. This quiet is not emptiness. It is fullness without noise. A fullness that supports your awareness the same way the universe supports its stars. Picture a single particle now, perhaps a quark or an electron, drifting through the universe. It moves without haste, each step through the Higgs field granting it the mass it carries. The resistance is gentle, delicate, a soft drag that allows it to exist as something rather than as pure motion. And you may sense that same gentleness now in the way your awareness moves. There is no sharp turn, no abrupt thought, no effort. Only the slow, graceful drifting of consciousness shaped by quiet. Your awareness begins to glow faintly with this stillness. The internal horizon widens. The breath flows so quietly it feels more like warmth than air. The body lies heavy and safe. The mind floats light and free. Not asleep, simply dissolved into a deeper layer of calm that the day rarely reveals. And, as the calm deepens, you may imagine drifting through a region of the universe where even light travels slowly through clouds of cosmic dust. The dust glows faintly, illuminated by faraway stars. Everything here moves in slow curves, graceful arcs guided by ancient forces. You drift with them, part of that motion, part of that slow cosmic ballet. Nothing rushes, nothing presses forward. Everything unfolds with infinite patience. Beneath it all, the Higgs ocean holds steady. Beneath you, a similar ocean of quiet holds your awareness just as patiently. The comparison softens into feeling. The feeling softens into presence, and the presence melts into stillness. Your body grows even heavier now, a comforting heaviness, warm and grounding. Your limbs rest with complete ease, the muscles slackened into serenity. There is no effort in remaining still. Stillness feels like the most natural place to be. You drift a little deeper. At this depth, thought becomes a whisper, almost indistinguishable from the quiet around it. Each whisper fades before it fully forms. The mind becomes smooth and warm, like a deep pool reflecting soft light. Nothing disturbs its surface. Even the breath barely ripples its calm. And as you float through this inner expanse, you may feel as though you are approaching the quietest layer of all. A layer where awareness blends with the universe's soft hum, where the hidden ocean supporting matter feels inseparable from the ocean supporting your own stillness. Here, there is no effort, no direction, no boundary, only drifting, only warmth, only the soft, ancient calm of a universe that has never stopped holding you.